Welcome to the Mother-Daughter ISH podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today.
Hey, mothers and daughters. Today, I have another interview for you. I told you that I was going to make this a 2-month series so that you can meet those individuals that have moved from one country to the next. And it has been going so well. And I'm so excited to introduce you to Miss Tina today. Hey, Miss Tina, thank you for being my guest today.
Hi. Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. So let's get it started. Where did you come from and where are you currently right now today?
So I was born and raised in New Jersey. However, wait a minute. Oops, lost my video.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I was born and raised in New Jersey. Lived in Georgia prior to moving to Morocco.
Okay. So tell us, what was the decision to go from Georgia to Morocco? I know you probably did a lot of research or maybe job led you there or something, but tell me.
None of the above.
I'd like to know the thought process. How did you do it?
None of the above. Someone I had met many years ago, her and her husband were building a wellness center here in Morocco. And in my former life, I was an executive assistant. And she said, listen, I want you to come to Morocco and help me in the administrative role to build this space that I'm creating for people of color who want to leave the United States.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, okay. I gave her every reason of why I couldn't. I came up with multiple reasons of why I couldn't, like so many people do.
Yes.
Oh, I
was about to say, I get it. You tell me all the time.
Yeah, it's like, 1 second. Oh my God, okay.
There you go.
One of it was, I don't have the financial resources to be able to do it.
Right.
I have my son and I have a son who has extra needs. There were many variables that I had created, but she was like, listen, I'm going to get you here.
Right.
And I'm going to create a space for you to be able to stay so you don't have to worry about anything.
I like this plan already, and I don't even know her.
And you'll still be able to do your coaching and everything else that you're currently doing. Okay. And so I literally packed my house in less than a month. I started giving things away, and others that I didn't give away, I put in storage. And within a month, I was on a plane headed to Morocco.
That's the quickest move I've had so far. One
it's
month
really
that you were out of there. So was it I'll make sure that you're taking, you've got a place to stay. I'll make sure that you have work. And then did you do research on Morocco or did you go just based on?
I had been here before.
Oh, okay.
I had visited Morocco before, actually on a trip with her. I did a retreat here before.
Wonderful.
And that was and then I had come in 2018, I think it was. But then I had also hosted a retreat here in May of 2023. So I had come back again.
Got it.
And then I ended up moving here July, August of 2023.
Oh my gosh, so you've been there almost 2 years of coming up.
Yes, almost 2 years.
Now, did you move there as a married woman, a single woman, with children, with no children?
I'm a single woman with an adult child. My son has extra needs.
Yes.
And my son did come with me. Yes.
Wonderful. Now, did you have that thing that women say, well, if I move to another country, I'm not going to be able to find a husband? Did you ever have that thought?
No. Okay. Well, for me, it may be different for other people. I'm not looking for a husband.
You're the second woman who said that to me. The other person I spoke with, she said, I'm so focused on my life and I'm so focused, and if it happens, it happens. She's like, and it's just going to happen organically and naturally. So I understand what you're saying, but I'm telling you, though, okay, so work.
There are some who are looking for a husband. I'm not looking for a husband. Yes, I love companionship. Companionship is great.
But you're going to let it find you.
Well, no, I'm going to do some work too.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm going to be part of the process. And I've dated since I've been here,
Okay.
and but there haven't been long-term dating. But
Oh,
the options are there for someone. It all depends on. Here's the best thing that I can say.
okay.
You have to know what it is that you desire and the quality of life that you desire
That's right.
wherever you move.
That's right.
And when you're considering the location that you want to move to, you
Mm-hmm.
have a checklist and you say, does this meet the checklist that I have?
Mm-hmm.
On my checklist, there was no, oh, I need to find a husband or I need to find XYZ. Like the other person you probably spoke with, my checklist was, I need to have a certain quality of life that brings me joy and
Exactly.
that does not disrupt my peace.
Okay.
And when I came here, literally, that is what I found. I
Right.
found peace. I found a great community of local individuals that I have connected with as well. Because for me, because everybody is different, most people want to be around a bunch of expats. Well, I didn't leave the United States to be around more Americans. I
Right.
wanted to be able to submerge myself into the culture just a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I chose to do that by putting myself in certain spaces where I could make these connections.
Absolutely. Now, you said you're from New Jersey, but you moved to
Mhm.
Georgia. I know Georgia's a beast when it comes to even talking about dating. W- How is it different in Morocco? How's the dating there? Is it different? Is it a cultural barriers or anything like that? And the reason I say that is because I know last month when I was in the Middle East, you meet all kinds of people. And one of the guys said, man, he wished that his family wasn't the type that would not allow him to even date an American, that he already had someone that was chosen for him to marry. And at some point, he was going to have to act on that. So,
Mhm.
how is the dating in Morocco?
So for me, here's what I've learned.
Okay.
This is what I've discovered by conversation and observation.
Okay.
Some, I can't say all because I don't know all. Some, if you're looking from the perspective of dating someone who is Moroccan,
Hmm.
Moroccans don't date. Moroccans meet someone that's going to lead to marriage.
Okay. So basically, I need to move to Morocco. Go ahead. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, they don't date. They're meeting someone that's going to lead to marriage. Would
Yes.
they be interested into someone who is not from who is not of a Moroccan? Yes. You
Okay.
all depends on who you're finding. There are some that are more worldly who
Yeah.
have left the country and come back to Morocco. So
Right.
yes, that is an option.
Okay.
And also, there are a lot of other international people who live here as well,
Mm-hmm.
which over time, I've met some. I've met French people, I've met people from the Netherlands.
Okay.
So you also meet people from other locations in addition to Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
So you have these types of conversations, but it is having that understanding of what is it that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, as a grown ass woman who
Mm-hmm.
has an adult son, I'm not looking for another child to take care of. I'm not having any children. So those are things that I'm taking into consideration
That's
when
right.
I'm thinking about, am I dating someone and what are their expectations as well?
That's right. That's very, very true. Okay, awesome. Now, is Morocco one of those places that if you're an American and you go there, you have to have certain shots or something?
No, I didn't need any shots. As far as coming here, I am still here on a tourist visa.
Okay.
I didn't get residency because I didn't know what my plans were, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, you should get residency." No. So, you can come here for 90 days, you can leave the country, and then you can come back in for another 90 days. And I'm sure everybody has mentioned you don't do the visa run. So
Okay. No,
Morocco
and
allows
no,
you to stay
no
here for
shot,
90
no,
days.
no vaccinations or anything like that.
No, I didn't. It didn't require me to have any types of vaccinations.
Okay, now let's talk
Any
about.
additional, let's put it that way,
Okay.
because I already have my normal vaccinations.
Oh, okay. Well, are you talking about vaccinations you had from a long time ago or as
Yes. Hmm.
okay, got it. Now, let's talk about food. I loved when I go to different countries, I love to try whatever the local particular type of food is. Just,
Hmm.
because you see things and you may say, no, I don't want to eat it, but you don't know until you taste it. So, you being there, has there been a favorite food that you never had that you've tried? Or tell me about the food scene there. Like if I was going to visit there and you say, "Oh, make sure you eat this or try that,
Hmm.
taste that."
So I'm a very selective eater, so I may not be the ideal person to ask.
Yes.
However, the beef and chicken tagine, the tagine is a dish that they make, that they prepare the meal in,
Uh-huh.
and it's either beef or chicken filled with vegetables, or they may have a couscous, um, and also the tangia. The
Uh,
tangia is the slow cooked lamb or the
oh,
slow
oh,
cooked beef,
oh my gosh, my
and it
daughter
is
say that could be fun.
absolutely
Ah,
amazing.
oh, my
If you
daughter would
if
just faint.
if you got the right person that's going to prepare it, that's the one thing to take care of. Now, Morocco, Africa, is a landlocked country, so
Yes.
it really is not great for seafood, in my opinion.
Right, right, right.
Um, and the fruits and vegetables are beyond amazing. I literally have two fruits and vegetable stands right around the corner, and I can get fresh orange juice every morning if I want to, depending on what the season is. Right now, we are in March, February, March, and we're entering into strawberry season, and our strawberries are like huge. So they go through each season. They have the strawberry season, pomegranate season. Oranges are always available.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the vegetables and everything is just so fresh. I was doing some lives, and that was one of the conversations that I was having. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I realized that I don't keep as much packaged food in my house as
Right.
I did
Everything's
when I
fresh.
was in the States,
Right.
because I choose more fresh options versus the packaged items. Like, I don't even know the last time I've like made macaroni and cheese or anything like that. Like,
Right.
there are certain things that I buy packaged, but for the most part, everything I try to eat as fresh as possible.
I love that. I love that. Now, would you say that Morocco is in your opinion, is it a safe place for women to go alone?
Most definitely.
Okay, perfect. That's good.
There
That's
is,
another thing women always
that
ask.
is one of our, a lot of people's concern
Yes.
about going to certain countries and being alone.
Yes.
And the reason why I can say most definitely, it's two reasons. One, I tested the theory, not intentionally, but
Right.
New Year's Eve, the year before last,
Uh-huh.
I had met a friend at a restaurant, and they were like, oh, you're going to catch a taxi here. I was like, no, I'll walk. And I'm walking at like 11 o'clock at night by myself. There's no cat calling. There's no people coming up, walking beside you.
Okay.
And for the most part, if there is something that happens, another Moroccan will intercede and be like, no, that's wrong.
That's
I
right.
can honestly say that I've never felt more safe than being here than any place that I have ever traveled, any place. And I've
I
traveled a
love
few
hearing that.
places. It's just something about the culture
Uh-huh.
of making you have to be open to the mindset that no one is not out to get me.
Right. Okay.
And there are certain places that we go, we call it the Medina or the souk, where there's a lot of shopping.
Mm.
And it's a person's heaven, no matter what you want: leather, shoes, clothes, my caftan I have on, a variety of things.
Mm-hmm.
And it can get crowded, especially in the evening, because it
Mm-hmm.
changes from the day to night. But I never feel unsafe, even when I'm walking around the Medina by myself. If someone approaches you, they may say something, but they're not consistently following you, like, Madame, Madame, Madame. If
Right.
you say no, they'll walk away. But you don't ever have to feel unsafe.
Oh, I love it. That's very respectful. That's another thing that I'm asked about when women ask me, "You go there by yourself?" And I'm just like, my experience was this, and that's all I can share is my experience. That's why I'm asking your experience because at least you can be a voice for where you are. Let's talk about
Right.
work. What do you do for work that you in a month was like, deuces, I'm out.
So when I had left New Jersey, I'll say, retired from my corporate career of over 30 years as an executive
Okay.
assistant. And
Okay.
so in Georgia, I was doing remote VA support, as well as my life coaching that I started when I was in corporate.
Okay.
So when I came here, I was still integrating my life coaching. So I have clients that I work with, but they're back in the States.
Right.
And I would take on little projects here and there as well. So for people who are consistently saying, I want to leave the country, but I can't find a job,
Right.
the key for you is to start finding a job from the States, because the cost of living here is going to be different. And that means you're going to make less money, a lot less money than
Right.
you would in the States.
Right.
And if you really take into consideration most countries, they're going to hire more of their local people
That's
than
right.
they do someone who comes in. So
That's
you
right.
should not walk in with the expectation of, I am going to X country to go and find me a job.
Hmm.
Now, are there organizations that hire people? More than likely, yes. But
Hmm.
then you have to have meet certain visa requirements that that company has to take into consideration when bringing you to their country.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's either you have a remote job already or you have started a business already that you can take with you wherever, whatever country you choose to go to.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Now, speaking of cost of living, what is the cost of living there? Because you've been in America and now you're not. What is the cost of living? I'm not asking specifically your cost of
Oh,
living.
I can give you specifics because it's crazy.
Okay. Okay, so what is
because
cost of living?
because I like people to put numbers to visually see it.
Okay.
So the thing is that people should take into consideration what it is that you want.
Yeah,
You know, when I came to Morocco, I was like, I need to be in a certain location.
right.
My apartment is, I have a two-bedroom apartment,
Uh-huh.
um, and it is, I pay $550 a month for my two-bedroom apartment. My apartment in New Jersey, in Georgia, two bedrooms was $1,800 a month.
And in Texas, that would be about $2,600 a month because my son has a one bedroom right now for 1650.
Yeah.
So
So it's
five
absolutely
hundred
crazy.
dollars. I almost fainted.
Yeah. And
Wow.
even like if I think about my utilities, so my water bill is probably like $5 a month. My my electric bill is like 30. My internet is like 30. Um and yeah, so everything is very inexpensive. I live in a good area. I
Mhm.
don't have a big American apartment, like some are very plush and American, but
Uh-huh.
I have some of the structure of the Moroccan in
I
my
like
apartment, but I have
it.
everything that I need. Yeah.
Okay, good. And I like that you ended that with I have everything that I need. Because like you
Yeah.
said, you're thinking about what's important to you and how
Hmm.
you want to see. That's a wonderful that you have everything
Yeah.
that you need. What are some of the things that you're doing while you're there to build community? I know you
I'm
have your
not.
friend there. Oh, okay. So no meetups and no nothing.
I am an ambivert. So I am very much I keep to myself. I have a few local friends that I meet up with, and
Okay,
we'll
well, there
we'll
you
we'll
go.
do we'll do little brunch on Saturdays or Sundays depending on what's happening.
Okay,
But I am very much where I go and I come back. I go by myself and I come back,
I understand.
back to my apartment. But this is the same way I was in Georgia.
Okay.
I don't have to be amongst a whole bunch of people, and that is actually my preference, not to be amongst a whole bunch of people.
I understand. Now, let me ask you this. Has any of your family from the States been able to come over and visit you for extended amount of time? Or do you just go back home whenever you feel like you want to go see family?
I actually haven't been home since I've been here.
Okay.
I'm an only child.
Okay.
And FaceTime, like I said, I'm an ambivert. I keep to myself. But one of my besties, her and her husband actually came here to visit, but she had been here before anyway.
Okay.
But she came here to visit, so she was like, now I get to see it through different eyes because
Uh,
before when we came, I only got to see this, and this, but now I get to see it through your eyes and what you've experienced. So
Nice.
she has had the pleasure of coming here as well.
Okay.
And
So,
and you know what? Mentioning that
yeah,
is a lot of people's concern
I
about
know.
family.
I
What
am
about my
literally
family?
I am literally having these interviews to dispel certain myths because for the last 18 months, as I travel, having conversations with different people, these are the things. That's what led me back in October to say, you know what? I'm going to carve out some space to actually do this. And I'm actually even thinking about doing something even bigger with this particular topic because it's so very, 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 very hot right now. And
Mhm.
when I say hot, I mean just the conversation around all of this. And I've joined so many different groups that have moved from one place to the next, and I'm like
Mhm.
listening to the conversation and saying, hey, come talk to me about that, you know. And I specifically, because my show is geared toward women, I specifically want to talk with women because the dating part, the
Yeah.
children part, the safety part. We have a different beast that we have to
Mm-hmm.
be aware of when we make these type of moves that I don't know what the concerns are of when the men do their move because I'm not a man.
Right.
And
Right.
I've
Very
spoken
true.
with men to ask them, I'm so concerned about the women part because that's my
Mm-hmm.
focus is on women and our thing that we want to do.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you being on my call today. And you said that you do coaching. So is there anything that you would
Yeah.
like to share, like a website or anything like that with our audience or
Sure.
any events you've got coming up? You mentioned that you had some type of retreat back there in
Mm-hmm.
2018. What would you like
Mm-hmm.
to share with our audience before we go?
So, there's two things I want to share before because we didn't hit on healthcare.
Okay.
And I suffered a
Oh,
mild
that's
heart
important.
attack. I suffered a mild heart attack 2 days after arriving here.
Now, what was that all about, ma'am?
I don't know. But
Oh,
yeah, I had a heart attack 2 days after arriving here.
oh, I know.
And trying to navigate the hospital and the language barrier was a big challenge.
Mm,
And my colleague that I moved here with, she happened to be out of the country. She was traveling in Bali. So she was on the phone trying to help me. But I was out
okay.
with another friend and we were walking and I was like, oh, I don't feel good.
Right.
And I says, but I just feel like I have a gas in my chest. So I
Yeah.
burped, didn't feel good. And then we
Yeah.
talked about it again. I said, well, I'm going to go home. And I went home. My son was with me. And I had a heart attack. And I shouldn't have gone home because I had to come back in town to go to the hospital.
Mm,
I ended up having a clogged artery that I had to have a procedure in the hospital.
mhm.
Navigated two hospitals because they moved me from one to the other.
Okay.
And the biggest challenge was when it came to my health coverage. Because my insurance would not specifically say we will pay for it, I literally had to pay $10,000 in order for them to do the procedure.
Or,
Or,
yeah, I need to know what the or was going to be.
or I don't know what the or would have been.
That's
It
what,
was nothing.
because I'm just thinking if you did not have that
Yeah.
to spend on that, um, I don't know what the options are.
Yeah.
I
So it was
I
it
don't
was
even
really a
want to, I don't even
challenge.
want to think what
Yeah.
the option would have been, right?
So health is something that people should definitely take into consideration of what it is that their needs are.
Did you have that
Uh
reimbursed? Did the
no,
insurance eventually pay for it? And
no.
the reason I asked that question is because I know 2 years ago there was I was reading an article about this particular topic you're talking about on insurance, and a lot of insurance companies were saying that if you get insurance and you're in another country, there are certain things they have this whole list of what we're not going to cover
Mm-hmm.
because you're
Yeah,
not in America.
right,
Especially if you go and you visit and you break your ankle or something, you did that over there, we're not going to cover it. So,
right.
wow, that
So, but I will always say that I was supposed to have my heart attack here because that $10,000 literally covered everything. I don't have any residual bills showing up at my house.
yeah.
And it showed me how people can show up for you when you need them and when you allow them to. And literally, that is what happened. I had my colleagues as well as local people who were very supportive of me throughout that entire process. And
What a blessing.
literally, I was in for 7 days. I was in ICU, everything. So that is also something that people who have health challenges can take into consideration. How you can stay connected with me, you can find me. I have a website, which is tinachines.com, my full name. I'm also on social media under Tina
Yes.
C. Hines. And what I have coming up in June of this year is my healing retreat in Bali.
Oh,
It is actually my last retreat I am hosting after 13 years. I am hanging up my cape of hosting healing retreats for women.
okay.
But we are going to Bali June 7th through the 12th for an amazing transformative experience for the women.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what a great place to have it. I've been to Bali and I loved it. Actually, I'm taking a group of ladies in November. That's awesome.
Mm,
Wow.
wonderful.
That's good. Well, I'll make sure that everything is down in the description so that people can reach
Right.
out to you. And Miss Tina, thank you so much
You're
for
very
being my
welcome.
guest today. And you have just excited me because you've told me at least two or three things that I'm very excited to know. So I'm going to have to find my way to Morocco and visit. And I'll reach out to you when I do and just say hi.
Okay,
All
sounds
right, Miss
good.
Tina, thank you. And I've
You're welcome.
appreciated you being here. And one last question. Is Morocco the end all be all for you?
Nope.
That
No, no, it
that
is
is the
not.
that is the answer every single woman that I've interviewed here has said. But I love the question because, hey, possibilities are endless, right?
Open yourself to the possibilities, and you have to give yourself the experience. Like I said, I've always wanted to live outside of the country. I've stayed in Bali for a month or two. I've stayed in Anguilla for a month or two.
Okay.
So I've been traveling since I was 23.
Yes,
Now
yes.
I'm at the young age of 56.
Yeah.
So but you have to get that first experience
That's
for you
right.
to truly know what it is that you want, because
Very,
then you can create your checklist a little differently.
absolutely. All right, Miss Tina, thank you and have a great day.
So thank you. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.